It's Saturday, March 9th, 1988. Can you tell me your name, please?
You can just call me Joe.
Okay, tell us about yourself, Joe.
Born in Ashland, grew up there. I've heard of it. When you drive by on the interstate, everybody remembers the giant oil refinery. That's actually what that's named down. Ashland's kind of a bigger city for where it is, it's like in the middle of the woods. It's a toxic waste dump. It's a really industrial town. There's forest all through the downtown.
Tell me about life growing up there.
It was a rough place. It was kind of violent. Kind of place where if you're walking down the street and you hit somebody in the eye, they'll pick a fist fight with you. I learned karate from Sam Brown, great guy. Nephew Chris went to Lexington and disappeared last year. We found him.
What happened? What happened exactly? Do you know?
Really, he just went to a convention and never came back. Nobody heard from him. They had police and detectives looking for him. I think he ran up with a girl. He got killed. For what? No idea. He was a great guy. He was the best student. He was a little older than me. He taught some. He was good. That's not what I'm here to talk to you about.
What do you want to talk about?
I'm going to tell you about a dream I had when I was a kid. Little background, we grew up in a junkyard between two other junkyards, factories. My mom's family grew up in the same property, and they ran like a auto service station after World War II. And my sister needed to get out of Ashland, as many people do when they escape route. About 23. She tried to get to Chicago, get a good job. She got as far north as Waverly, Ohio. Maybe 100 miles. Which is an even smaller town. A little better well off than Ashland. On a smaller river. She hooked up with a guy there. They had internet there. The guy was an Elvis impersonator and a contractor, and he did pretty well for himself. He did hot rods, motorcycles, and he built him a big, nice house out in the woods, horse country. We go up there. We go up there and stay once in a while. It was really nice. We had this basement, pool table, big projector TV, play, cartoons, good stuff for really young kids. A couple of cousins, 15 years old. And then they went through a real rotten divorce when I was young. Mom was kind of involved in it, so I got to hear a lot about it. They were not getting along, and there was my aunt going by to try to get her property and getting in physical fights with her own kids and ex-husband, getting arrested, having to go downtown Waverly, nothing, and go to an apartment. during the stress from all that, because it was our family, even though she was way out of town, and we did all the time. It affected me. I had a dream. I was worried about my cousins. We weren't on the friendliest terms. And, again, nobody could find them. And the city was looking for them. I don't know if I was there in the dream or if I just knew somehow. They were in the basement. And the basement was falling apart. And we were wrapped up in like a spider webs, like a spider were to wrap up a fly, human size.
Human size, right?
Well, the spiders themselves, they were enormous. And they weren't normal spiders, they were intelligent. They could communicate with each other and they had abilities, like weird, freaky abilities.
What kind of abilities?
But they didn't eat my cousins. My cousins were isolated, but in my dream I could read their thoughts, and I could tell that the spiders were influencing the machine.
What were they changing into?
I don't know, but odd people, they were making slaves out of them or something, I guess. And this is important. I didn't see them again after the divorce until we lost my mom, and they showed up. And they weren't the same.
And this is in real life?
In real life. They were cordial and they were cheerful. I didn't really talk to them any there. My ex-husband was there with them. But they weren't warm, and it wasn't like from the animosity and getting over it and all that in the past. It was just with everybody. They were cold.
What was the animosity about? You talked about how you weren't on good terms. What happened?
It was a divorce, and we all sided with my aunt, of course. She might not have been completely in the right. I don't know. Nobody ever is. So of course we would have a disagreement about property, about who did what to who. But there were other people in my family that knew my cousins. And they were there with them too, and they were not the same people. They were cold. They were mechanical. It's hard to describe. It's like, I know them. I grew up with them, and I didn't know them. And the reason I called you up now is because I guess you call my ex-uncle. He passed away not too long ago. The house went up in the state auction. They cleaned it out and they found evidence.
Evidence of what?
Of my dream.
Of your dream?
The basement was in the same condition that I dreamed it was. I mean, there weren't webs and spiders there, but it was crumbled. It was solid concrete and cinder block. Very strong construction. No reason it would have done that. And for insurance, they said it was a flood. It was like if you took an excavator in there and just ripped it apart.
Was there any talk of renovations or work on the house?
Not to my knowledge, not at all. It wouldn't have made sense. I mean, you don't just tear a foundation out of a house that size. Not the way it was. Not how it was put together. It was built to last forever. It was a solid house.
And there was no explanation whatsoever on what happened to the basement.
I mean, they said it was flood damage. That was for the insurance.
And to clarify, in your dream, was it, I know it was the same, essentially. Were there any...
It was identical other than the spider stuff. They're really here. It bothers me. I need to talk to somebody about it. I think they're really here.
The spiders? You think the spiders are here?
Yeah. I don't think they're the spiders. I don't think they're from here, from this planet, this universe, whatever you want to call it.
Have you talked to your family about this dream?
I don't want to stress them that way. I needed to talk to somebody because I seem to be the only person who's putting this together. It needs to come out eventually. I gotta go. Let's, when you have time later, give me a call. We'll meet up at the archives in Waverly if you're up for the drive. I can show you some details and you can get a little better backstory. If you wanna write up what we have so far, you have my permission, but I gotta go. Thank you.
Oh yes, certainly. Thank you for your time. And we will meet later.